little late night live stream Thursday night since tomorrow's going to be Friday and I'm going to be off on the weekend. So just chilling tonight, waiting for some people to come in the room here. Oh, what a week. Week went by pretty quick actually for me. It's very busy, so usually when you're busy, it tends to go by pretty quick. Mm. Hey, what's going on, Transient? Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Oh man, oof. This ice cube did not melt yet. I'm drinking. I don't know about the East Coast, but by me, you mean as far as the weather? It's been pretty cold and windy. Pretty much your typical December. It's been a little bit colder than it normally has been the last 5 or 6 years, but it's not too bad. It's not snowing yet, so that's always a good thing. Thanks, man. It's all for sale. If you want it, let me know. I have four 1/10 ounce AGEs for sale at a very good price. So probably comparable to ungraded AGEs. So let me know if you or anyone else is interested. They are all for sale. What's going on? Comment video to win the free gold 1 ounce Krugerrand. That's not my channel. I'm not monetized, brother. I'm not getting that SD bullion money coming in. So I wish I could do that. If I was monetized, I'd give away most of the money that I make from the channel. I want to give away the money. I want to give away. I want to buy silver and gold and give it away, but I can't get monetized. People don't like me, so I don't get monetized. What's going on, Joseph? Good to see you, brother. Welcome. Hey, what's going on, Avocado? Good to see you. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate that. Mm. Doing a little bit of drinking off camera. I don't want to do it on camera. I don't want to promote anything like that. Thank you, Avocado. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much. It feels good to hear. Where are you at, Transient? Are you in California, Texas, Oregon, Washington? How much for the Engelhard 1 ounce silver pour? Um, in case you didn't know, these are all on a book. I don't have any of these here right now. So just to clarify that, I wish, you know, I actually do have this one. You know, this would these would be over 4,200 because they're gold. And then this one I've seen sell for over $1,000. And then this one recently sold on Mineral Exchange for over $800 each. Same with this one. This one sold for over 1,000. So these Harrington ones, they're very rare. So they also command a premium. Probably over $1,000 each. So these are not cheap bars. I was fortunate enough to get this one from Bullion Exchanges. So yeah. What else? What else is new, Joseph? What else is new? Who's that? Yeah, yeah. Oh, Arizona. Nice, nice. My supervisor's in Arizona. That's cool. Joseph always knows how to bring the shock and awe effect with what he says. He likes to he likes to bring in maximum shock and awe when he says stuff like that. Uh, what is that? He's in the Bay Area, I think. I haven't been. I don't watch. I really don't watch the news. I read bits and pieces, dribs and drabs of stuff online, and I don't really follow the mainstream media because it's highly biased one way or another and very opinionated. It's not like the news was even just 30 years ago. So I tend not to listen to people and their false narratives that they try to project. That's fake. Pick it up if it's real. What do you want? We got a copper round here. That's real. That's a real copper round. 1 ounce AVDP. Avoir du poids. That's real. We got the plague doctor. The plague doctor is real. Here we go. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. I don't like proving people wrong. Just I just like sticking to the facts. You caved. You bought the Superman 1 ounce metal. Oh, come on, man. When Georgie was here, we saw it in Big Apple coins. He had one graded already. He had one in 69 and one in 70. But I don't think he showed the label because the dealer said not to show the serial, the serial number because those had already been sold. So yeah, I saw them a couple months ago, and he tends to get a lot of the newer stuff. If you go on his eBay store, you'll see he has a lot of the new stuff that comes out. Silver has been skyrocketing the past year. That's correct. Silver is up over 100% this year compared to this time last year. So silver has done quite well this year, and I kind of traded a lot of my silver in. I had 200 ounce Scottsdale stacker bars that I've had since 2020 when I first started stacking, and I paid about $16 an ounce for those, I believe, or $18 an ounce. I don't even remember. I think it was closer to 18 an ounce, and yeah, I basically sold them when silver hit around, what was it, 40 an ounce. So yeah, I more than doubled my money, and the gold to silver ratio was 88 at the time. Now it's what, like 67, 68. So should I have waited? No, because the price of gold has also gone up in price, and I was able to basically get a 50 pesos for free with the profit and then some. So I'm not sorry that I bought gold cheaper, much cheaper, $1,000 an ounce. Well, $1,000 less I paid for the 50 pesos than the spot price is right now. So yeah. Anyways, I don't want to say the city I live in. I don't want to be caught by aliens, but it's somewhere in the Bay Area. It was just pretty terrible what happened. So we could go through a list of cities, Joseph. What is that? San Francisco. Uh, I don't know the Bay. Honestly, I don't know the Bay Area, so I just know San Francisco. That's pretty much it. Yeah, exactly. Trade one for another. People use the gold to silver ratio. A lot of people now are trading in their silver for gold, And people are saying, oh, it's going to go down even more, this and that. I mean, no one really knows what silver is, or any type of precious metal is going to do. Um, I did it. I did it when I thought, I was making money on it. I wasn't looking at the gold to silver to gold ratio. I basically just traded it in because I was making a huge profit on what I had been saving. And could I have done a little better if I had waited till now? Yeah, of course I could have. I could have gotten a little bit of extra gold with that extra money, because of the ratio. But, at the time, I was able to get some really interesting coins. I got the 2009 Ultra High Relief $20 double eagle, and I basically got it for like $100 over spot. And I'm looking at that coin now, and they're going for like 47, 4800 dollars on eBay, and I essentially paid $3,200 this year for it. And I was able to do that by trading in some silver. So, for me, it was worth it. I think the ends justify the means in that particular case. I'm glad my mom is safe though. Just ordered pineapple pizza today. Let me see. What's everyone talking about? Yeah, $18 an ounce. Yeah, it wasn't. It was just 5 years ago. 2020. That's when I started stacking, and my first silver I bought were 200-ounce Scottsdale stackers, and yeah, I just sold them. I did a video on it. You could watch it. Um, and I show it in the beginning, those bars, and yeah. Hey, what's going on, Nikki? Good to see you tonight. Welcome in. Welcome in. All right, avocado. I'll be on probably for a little bit. I'll probably be on for about another hour or so. So if I don't see you tonight again, have a good night. Take care. Yeah. So what's everyone doing with these high, quote unquote high silver prices? Are people still buying? Are they trading for gold or other precious metals? What's your strategies, guys? I'm interested in knowing what you guys are doing. I pretty much have traded or sold all the silver that I want to get rid of from my collection, my stack. I do still have a few pieces that I would probably be selling at around melt. If anyone is interested, feel free to reach out to me. I do have some vintage pieces I would be willing to sell at melt or below even, and not too many left. But I still do have this. No one is interested in buying silver, vintage silver below melt. So if I can't even give this stuff away, I'm not, you know, I don't know why people don't want to buy it, but I do have that stuff for under melt if anyone's interested. That's awesome, OC. That's awesome. I'd probably do some of this vintage for about 60 an ounce if anyone was interested. I wouldn't mind selling it for 60 an ounce. So let me know if anyone's interested. What is it up to? Almost 60. It was up to almost 64. It was over 64 an ounce today, right? It's crazy. Just crazy. Yeah, it went down a little bit now. I think it's what, 63 and change. So I'm trying to grow my silver online business. You sell silver, Nikki? What type of business you got? Yeah, I'm just basically trying to stack gold still. I'm uh I'm gonna buy this vintage piece of gold. I'm saving up for a little bit. Surprisingly, this dealer has not been able to sell this, and I know if I told a few community members about this, it'd probably be gone by now. So this dealer has had it for a couple weeks already, and they haven't sold it, and I don't think they will sell it. So I'm probably gonna scoop it up and hopefully that'll be my little early Christmas gift, holiday gift to myself. So, how much do I have at 60? Let's see, one, two, three, four, and three and change. So a little bit over 7 ounces. If you want it at 60, consider it sold, brother. Especially for you, I'll hook you up, man. $60 an ounce. I have no problem doing that for you, especially. I'll give you free shipping too. How about that? If you take it all, I'll even throw in a copper round for you if you take it all. Yeah, I mean, I could share. I could probably, I like to get some duplicates sometimes of vintage because my dealer loves vintage also, and he usually pays top dollar for vintage. He's very he's a little stingy with prices if I try to sell it to him because I really don't sell to him. But if it's a vintage piece he doesn't have, he'll usually pay top dollar for it, which is kind of surprising because he puts it in his own collection. He tells me he has over 500 different vintage bars. So he's a huge vintage collector, and I haven't really seen his vintage, but I have seen some of his more pricey numismatic items, and he really has some very very good numismatic items that he's been trying to basically sell. Anyways, yeah. You sell copper coins too. That's cool. That's cool. All right, brother. All right, OC. Just email me. Um, I got Cash App, Venmo, and let me know, brother. Let me know. I'll get it out to you tomorrow, even. We'll figure it out. All right. We got these Swiss of America, Golden West Teton. I think these are, according to all Engelhard, which I don't trust a lot of their mintages. This it allegedly is 25,000 mintage, and this was probably made circa 1973. So this is probably over 50-year-old piece of silver here. I got two of them here. I got this little Scottsdale, sorry, Germania Mint 100-gram bar, which I have a feeling it might have been the one I originally sold. Might have gotten it back, but I don't know. I can't really tell. I gotta look up the serial number. And then we have your classic horizontal Engelhard bar, 800,000 mintage, I believe. Is it 800,000 or is it? No, this one's 300,000, I believe. And then we have the other Swiss of America. I believe it's also 1973 round. So these have a premium on them. And yeah, it's all yours, brother. Thank you so much. I've had this up posted for over a week now in my community post, and nobody has wanted it. And I say I'm selling stuff around spot, and I'm actually selling it under spot, and people still don't want it. So thank you, OC. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. I'm trying to help out the community, guys. Whenever I post stuff in the community, I try not to sell it too much above spot or below spot even, and people still don't buy it. So that's why I don't really sell too much stuff on here anymore. I don't know why people don't want it. People have emailed me, guys, and they're like, I'll get back to you, or they just don't get back to me. And I'm like, I'm giving you stuff below melt, and what's there to think about? you know, I know people have money. People, they say they have the money to buy it, and I'm giving you a great deal under melt. You're asking, I don't want to name any names of people who have reached out to me, and I told them you could buy it for under spot or around spot, and it is what it is. Anyways, yeah. California, dude, like totally gnarly, like Orange County, dude. Like he's from the Boo, the Boo, like Malibu, dude, has some totally bitchin' waves. I was joking around with OC. He doesn't sound like that if you hear him. What's going on, Silver and Cigars? I don't want to impersonate SNC with a Midwestern accent because I went to school. Basically, it was a Midwestern environment where I was when I went to school up in Buffalo. But no, I don't want to do impersonations. I don't like to do that. I'm just like to joke around sometimes. People do not have money around this time of the year. No, I get it, OC. I get it. You know, they're telling, but that's the crazy thing, OC. They tell me they have the money and they want to buy it, and I show them the item, and they can't get it anywhere else cheaper, and they're like, I'll get back to you, and they never get back to me, man. I don't know what it is. Like, they have the money. It's not just this time of the year either. Like, recently they're like telling me I want to buy it for silver at spot. I'm like, okay, I got it. I showed it to them and they never got back to me. So I'm like, it is what it is. They have the money. It's not that they don't have the money. They just don't, for whatever reason. I don't know. I tried, man. I tried my best, but hey, their loss is your gain, right? Silver and Cigars. I am enjoying your content on your saving your money for the Great Reset. The Great Reset. I like watching his videos on. Well, I like watching his buffaloes. He gets all different types of buffaloes. He has, I don't know how many buffaloes you have, like over 160 or something by now. It's just crazy, man. I don't know anyone else who has that many types of buffaloes. And there's just so many, and they just keep making more and more buffaloes. So it's like never ending, you know? It's like kookaburras, they make all these kookaburras with like these privy marks, and it just never ends. Like you can't, it's like Pokemon, you got to catch them all. Oh man. Yeah, I'm trying to buy gold. That's just, I know, I'm kind of a contrarian. I kind of do the opposite of what people are doing. And I find that in the long run, it kind of works to my advantage. You know, I was, I was, I was stacking frack like 2, 3 years ago. Everyone was saying, "Oh, buy the 1 ounce gold coin. There's lower premium. Save up for the 1 ounce." Well, yeah, 1 ounce gold back then was $2,000 an ounce. Of course, I could, of course, it's more affordable to do that. But, and I was at that time, I was stacking frack because I liked frack. I liked collecting coins from all over the world, and then all of a sudden, price of gold shoots up to over $4,000 an ounce, and everyone's like, you know, we're shit out of luck now. We can't afford to buy gold. So stack the frack, right? Fish has been saying that for a while though. And now this year I've gotten a ton of 1 ounce plus gold coins because the premiums are so much lower. You're paying The premiums have been the highest they've ever been in the last 20 years, according to my dealer. This is what my dealer is telling me. He's never seen the premiums this high on gold. And so, you know what? For me to add more to my stack, I'm gonna get 1 ounce plus gold coins now because I'm paying less premiums. I'm able to get more gold. Yes, I'm very fortunate I could do that. I realize not everybody can buy an ounce of gold at a time, but you know what? If you could buy even a quarter of an ounce, at a time, do it if you can because the premiums are somewhat lower than if you even buy a tenth of an ounce. I get it. Not everyone can afford it. I get it. If all you could afford is 1 gram at a time, do it. Go for it, man. Any gold is better than no gold. Yeah, I saw Mrs. West Texas was on camera. I didn't. Hey, what's going on, Becky? Good to see you. Welcome in. Yeah, I didn't actually attend the live stream. I saw it on replay though. You guys can go watch it on replay. Yeah, it was nice to see her on camera. I could tell she was really nervous though. And it just takes time, just like anything else. The more you do something, the more you practice it, the easier it gets. So she did fine, I think, for her first time. She was good. I heard you guys had a lot of trolls in there though. So yeah, yeah, I missed it too. I was actually kind of free last night too. I was like, should I do a live stream? I was thinking about doing a live stream, but I'm like, man, I just want to relax a little bit. And just watching YouTube, and I was actually I was playing Oregon Trail. I don't know if you guys around of you people of a certain age might remember Oregon Trail, and I was playing. I'm like, I just got to do something to relax, man. Something as stupid as playing Oregon Trail. I don't play video games too often, but when I do, I like to play something old school like Oregon Trail. you know, Times were simpler back then. It brings you back to a simpler time. Yeah. Playing Oregon Trail on the Apple IIgs. Nice. Nice. Silver and cigars. That's awesome. Yeah, you guys can check out Mrs. West Texas if you don't know what she looks like. You could go to their channel, and you could look at the live stream that was recorded. So I don't know if she's gonna take it down, but you guys can check it out while you still can. I'm sure she's they won't take it down. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward. I think I'm gonna say it now. I think it doesn't really matter, but I did do a trade with Becky, so I'm not gonna say what I traded. You guys might be able to figure it out if you watch her videos. So I'm really excited about that. I think that's gonna be coming tomorrow. And guys, I actually got this really amazing vintage silver bar. Um, I'm gonna do a video. I don't know. It's just amazing. This bar. I don't know if I should show it now. I'm like, should I show it? Nah, I don't know. But yeah, it's just a beautiful, beautiful vintage bar. Very fortunate enough to have gotten it. So I'm gonna definitely do a video on that in the very near future. So stay tuned. Yeah, a little. She was a little nervous. Yeah, she was very nervous. I could tell, definitely tell. Yeah, she was a trooper though. That's great. Mrs. West Texas still has to book an appointment with me on how to learn how to tap into the Godzilla frequency. Oh yeah, she was saying, asking you one live stream, right? How do you do that? I remember. Thanks for sharing that out. Thanks for sharing that out, OC. If you guys are not subscribed, please check out Being Becky. She's an awesome content creator. I love the type of stuff that she's picking up because she's picking up a lot of gold lately. So you guys can go check her out. She picks up all sorts of stuff. You guys could find out who Mr. Dewey is, and I'll leave it at that. Yeah, so these silver prices are really crazy. I just can't believe it. People are talking about people who are just getting in now, talking about missing the boat, just like a year ago. Think about it, guys. Silver was like around $30 an ounce this time last year. Maybe, I think. Isn't that crazy how much silver has doubled in a year? It's just crazy. I don't like to make any predictions. I'm kind of surprised it went this high. I thought maybe, yeah, at the beginning of the year I thought, yeah, maybe it'll reach 50, maybe around 50 it'll hit by the end of the year. And $64, man. Holy shnikes. I just can't believe it. I just can't believe it's this high. I'm hearing a lot of people now saying, "Oh yeah, it was artificially suppressed. Gold and silver is artificially suppressed." Um, I remember seeing a video. I forgot his name. He CS Constitutional Stacker interviewed him, and he was saying that silver was undervalued. And you know what? That was when silver was. I mean, gold. He was saying gold is undervalued. That was when gold, I think, was around 3,000. He's like, yeah, it's gonna. He's like, it's gonna go up. It's gonna go up a lot now. Just wait and see. And I think that guy. What's his name? Lior or something. And he was interviewing him. He's like, yeah, this is. He's like, it's gonna go up, and it actually did go up quite a bit. So I guess I know silver, I know precious metals in general are highly manipulated. There's been cases of, people at JP Morgan being arrested and fined. Actually, they've been starting to be held accountable for price manipulation of precious metals. But there's just so much of it. It's so widespread and rampant, you know. And a lot of these financial institutions, this is just my opinion, guys. I'm not giving out any financial advice. I feel that a lot of these financial institutions, not just financial institutions, governments have been artificially suppressing the prices of precious metals. The applications for them are just, uh, unbelievable, especially for silver. Silver is the best conductor of electricity that known to man. They're being used in solar panels now. Um, the demand is essentially coming from the industrial side of things. Us stackers, we're, maybe, a third or less of the actual demand for silver. 60% of the demand is industrial based. So basically, the suppliers can't meet the demand, and that's what's causing the prices to go up. This time around, a lot of people are actually taking delivery of physical silver for their contracts. This was unheard of a couple years ago. Very few people actually took delivery. I remember a guy doing a video on YouTube who tried to take delivery of his silver contract, and they basically pretty much flat out refused to to do it. So he had an extremely hard time doing it. Now, I mean, people, you got to pay a premium in order to get that silver, your Comex bar. So it's quite interesting, what's been happening the last year as far as the silver market is being concerned. Yeah, yeah. Lior, yeah, yeah. Stacking Surfer. Yeah, I've seen him also on there. Yeah. Kick bid 63.73. Nice. Yeah, blew through the 50s. Absolutely. The days of manipulation is coming to an end. I hope so. It kind of seems that way, OC. I mean, a lot of governments want the prices to be lower as well. I honestly, this is just my opinion. I do think the US government wanted silver to be lower because they use silver in weapons and bombs and other applications. And I think they were partly to blame for silver being low. I know that China is intentionally not releasing silver into the market. They want the price of silver to go up. There's just a lot of factors at play. It's not just one thing. And now, like you said, this manipulation, it's just, I don't think they could contain it any longer. The demand for physical silver was being artificially suppressed. People are saying, well, why are you buying silver? Why are you buying gold? That's not a good investment. Don't buy it. Meanwhile, they're the ones who were actually buying it secretly and hoarding it. you know, say as I do as I say, not as I do. So that's what it basically was. But I really hope the days of silver manipulation, precious metal manipulation in general is coming to an end. I honestly don't think it should be done by humans. I think maybe AI should be doing it, or at least it being a lot more automated and standardized. And there should be some balances, checks and balances going on with these financial institutions. But yeah, it's not going to be the Wild West anymore. I think it really will stop a lot of this manipulation from going on. If China or United Nations cash in their bonds, it will collapse our banks. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen though, because we can do a lot of countermeasures that are going to greatly hurt China's economy. We have ways of making them feel pain as well. So I don't think that's an option for them. They have been slowly, getting rid of U.S. debt. So it has caused some inflation, and I really do think we are in trouble. I do think there is going to be quantitative easing in the very near future. I don't think the lowering of interest rates is a good thing, to be honest. We really should not be lowering interest rates at this time. I don't want to get into it, but it's just a mess. Our situation, it's the dollar's getting weaker and weaker by the day, and all great empires must, unfortunately come to an end. The U.S. dollar being the global currency, its days are numbered, unfortunately. And that's why you guys have to have this stuff, because when the greenbacks become, basically worthless, you'll be able to have this. This is recognized worldwide. So whatever the dominant currency is, you'll be able to get that currency. You'll be able to get a good exchange rate for it. So, we'll see what happens. I can't really predict the future, but I think the U.S. dollar is basically on life support at this point. You don't have to agree with me, but the price of precious metals, I think, speaks for itself. Lower the rate is kind of like quantitative easing for the masses. Yeah, I definitely agree with that, OC. I 100% agree with that. I think it's a very dangerous thing to do at this time. I think it's only gonna push up precious metal prices even higher, to be honest. I think it used to have the opposite effect, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, no, I used to study. I studied economics in college. That was one of my majors. I also majored in finance, so I have a double major, and I understand what's going on in the world a little bit more in depth than people who do not have that type of background. I work in banking, so I tend to follow a little bit what's going on in the world, and I understand basic economics. To me, it doesn't make sense to cut interest rates at this time. Um, Anyways, I don't really want to talk about that right now. So yeah, so what's everybody up to lately? What's everyone buying or selling lately or exchanging? I'm curious to know. I'm just trying to get as much gold as I can to end out the year. I submitted um I submitted some coins to NGC for grading. So I had seven gold pre-33 gold coins, and I have six Morgan and Peace Dollar coins. I'm getting graded, so I'm really looking forward to getting the results of those. I did a video a couple months back. I know I've been uh, very remiss when it comes to that. I was supposed to submit those coins months ago, and I haven't done it until recently. So NGC got those coins, and I'm really excited. I got an 1878 Morgan Dollar, 1878S, I believe. So I'm hoping it comes back rated something special with that coin. So we'll see what happens. Broke Where's Broke at? Hey, what's going on, Broke? Good to see you. Welcome in. Yeah, we're just talking about the economy and the price of precious metals right now. So, you know, Idaho. Oh, he's in Idaho. Nice. There's, there's actually a lot of interesting silver mines in Idaho. You have Sunshine Mine, right? Is in Idaho, isn't it? I think. And yeah, they're really known for their silver, almost as much as their potatoes. No, I wouldn't say that, but yeah, I love Sunshine Silver, especially vintage Sunshine Mining Silver. I love it. Kellogg, Idaho. That's where they're from, right? Yeah, Kellogg, Idaho. Any thoughts on the 2K tariff money? What are you talking about, Joseph? You mean in California, the 2K tariff? It's not a tariff. It's a tax. You can pay a tax on precious metals under $2,000 in California. It's not a. Is that what you're talking about? What are you talking about? 2K tariff? Am I missing something? Oh man, I just need a drink right now. Mm, mm. That's some Goldschlager, baby. Mm, it's good, really good. A little bit of a cinnamon taste, this time of the year. Get your eggnog. So now I'm talking about the dividend money that our president is sending out. Oh, that $2,000. Yeah, that's just talk right now. Hey, what's going on, Stuart? Good to see you. Welcome. Economy is crap. LCS stress testing soon. Dumping, trading, and buying, same visit. Hey, that's a good strategy, man. I'll take the silver, trade it for gold, and yeah, maybe buy a little extra. You see, you know what I hate, guys. I hate these people, these YouTubers who do these reactionary videos, right? They're like, oh, silver goes to $64 an ounce. Is $200 next? It's like, come on, man. It's just all these reactionary videos. They're like, oh, I've been saying silver is gonna be going up. I predicted this was gonna happen, and I've been seeing a lot of these reactionary, what I call them reactionary videos. Oh, platinum's gonna go to 5,000 an ounce. Gold's gonna go to 5,000 an ounce. Silver's gonna go to 2,000 an ounce. It's just I can't stand these videos, man. How the hell do you know? Are you Nostradamus? Like you got a crystal ball. You could see how much these prices are gonna go to. They're gonna. I personally think they're gonna crash. I don't think this is sustainable if it keeps going up the way it's going up. What goes up must come down. It's simple. It's simple physics. It's not rocket science that there's going to be a crash coming. How much that crash is going to be, I don't know. Maybe it'll go up to just shy of $100 an ounce, and then it'll go back down to $60 an ounce. I don't know. I don't know when and where the crash is going to happen, but I feel that a crash is going to happen. So we'll see. We'll see. I could be wrong. What will go down is the fiats, not the metals. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what I was saying. I said the dollar is getting weaker right now, so that's why, the price of precious metals is going up because the dollar is getting weaker, right? I agree with you. And I think, the dollar might strengthen. But I think basically the precious metal prices, it's a little bit different situation in relation to fiat. I think if I was just saying that the price of silver and gold have been suppressed and now it's starting to take off. I think if people, keep, you know, overdoing it, if the demand keeps going up and the supply remains pretty much constant or it actually drops, it's gonna push the price of precious metals above and beyond what I think it should be, So I think eventually there's going to be a crash, not because the dollar or any currency is getting stronger, but because of they basically overshoot the price. It's just there's going to be a huge supply flooding the market, and the demand is not going to be there anymore, and it's going to cause a crash in the price of the precious metal. And I'm not. It's not directly related to fiat. I'm talking basically on the supply and demand side of silver itself is going to cause the price to go down. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's definitely. I agree with you, Becky. I really think the price of silver is going up too fast. I know it had been. I feel it had been suppressed, but I think this is just crazy. More than 100% in a year. It is going up too fast. I honestly think we're in for a crash. I think it'll go about $90 in May, go sideways. Yeah, I mean, it could go to 90, it could go to 300. I don't know, guys. I'm not saying it's not possible. I think anything is possible. I think based upon what we've seen so far in this past year, I think anything is possible. So it's like the Wild West as far as these prices of precious metals. But I do think there's going to be a crash. I just don't know how much of a crash and when it's going to happen. But I don't think it's a matter of if. I think it's a matter of when. So we'll see. Flipping low cost stuff to finish off debts and add to the perma stack. Buckle up, buttercups. Oh, that's great. That's great, Stuart. I actually thought about doing that myself. I hate to get rid of gold, but I'm actually contemplating selling some vintage silver. I actually did sell some tonight to Mr. OC for under melt because no one else wanted it. So yeah, I'm definitely contemplating doing that as well. I have just a little bit of debt I have to get rid of, and I'm hoping to pay it off by the end of this year, by the end of this month. So things crop up. You should have some of that dry powder on reserve for emergencies. I have a savings I keep for emergencies. I try not to touch that. I try to remain very strict. I don't use that. I try not to use that money for PMs. Occasionally I do, but whatever I take out, I replace. So it's a give and take situation. I don't drain my emergency funds. If I need a few $100s here or there, and I know I'm gonna get paid in the next week or so, then I try to replenish the funds as soon as I can. My phone better ring if you are serious. What is that? What do you think of the GSR? What would be a realistic value? I don't really like to comment on that because again, I'm not Nostradamus. I don't know where the GSR is gonna go. When I exchanged my silver for gold this year, the GSR was at 88, and I didn't care because I paid $18 an ounce for the silver and I sold it at 40. So I more than doubled my money. I wasn't looking at the GSR. I was looking at, how much profit can I get now? What can I buy with that? What type of gold can I get with that money? And I got some pretty cool pieces this year. So I'm not sorry that I traded it. I don't know. There's people who follow that religiously. There's people who basically that's all they do is convert it from, silver to gold or gold to silver, depending on the GSR. And that's a great strategy, but I'm not into that. I'm into gold for the long haul. That's my strategy, is to get as much gold as I can for as cheap as I can. Other people might have different strategies. If your strategy is trying to exchange, silver for gold, then this is uncharted territory. No one knows how low the GSR is going to go. I've seen a lot of videos recently of people turning in their silver. They think, less than 70. They were waiting for it to go below 70 to do it. There's some people who are waiting for it to go down to 50. They think it's going to go down to 50, like Tim in New Hampshire. So, the it's to each their own. I say, if you want to wait, if you think it's going to go down that low, then wait. If you think now is a great time, because the GSR is the lowest it's been in like 3 or 4 years, then do it. I can't tell you one way or another. I have no idea how low or how high the GSR is going to go in the next week or 2 weeks even. So that's a decision everyone has to make on their own. I'm pretty much indifferent. I just look at how much, profit I could make on something, and I just, my strategy is to get as much gold as I can, because I think long term, gold is a great investment. And you know what? I've said this in the past. Usually what happens when precious metal prices go up, gold tends to go up first, and silver slowly catches up. But when silver goes up, it actually outperforms gold. So usually when there's a big jump in price. So I don't want to say that this is a hard rule, but if you see in the future, I mean, it's happening now, but I'm saying in sometime in the future, if you see gold going up a lot and silver not going up that much, that's probably a good time to buy silver. Because it's probably going to shoot up, and percentage wise, it's going to probably outperform gold, which it's already done this year, silver. So, to each their own. Whenever they want to trade silver for gold or gold for silver, that's a personal decision that everyone has to make on their own. Um, my 2026 goal is to finally buy my reverse proof Libertad. I'm $1,000 away from reaching that goal. Hey man, that's great that you actually have a goal, man. A lot of people in this community don't even have a goal. They just buy whatever they want. They just get money in. They get a windfall. They just buy whatever they want. They don't have a goal. What they want. A lot of people don't even save up for what they really want. They just buy. For me, I know I can't hold cash. I try, I try to keep as little cash as I can in my bank account, because I try to get gold as soon as I can, because I know in the long term it's only going to go up in value. So I try to get it as soon as I can, because the price is only going to go up. Yeah, I mean, it's great that you have a goal. I'd love to get a reverse proof Libertad myself. They're just beautiful. That's definitely on my grail list as well, to get a 1 ounce reverse proof gold Libertad. I'd love to get one. My 2026 goal is being debt free, accepting the mortgage. Accept the mortgage. That's later. That's great. That's a great goal. Everyone's making New Year's resolutions already. Or goals, 2026 goals at least. I don't know what my goal is for 2026. I do have a goal in mind as far as gold. Like I've said in the past, I'm really, because the price of gold is going up and it's getting harder and harder to buy larger quantities of gold. My goal is to get gold as cheap as possible. If that means saving up for a 1 ounce Krugerrand and getting it for 5% under melt from Mr. OC. And that's going to be my strategy because, um, that's the only way I'm going to be able to keep up with the price of gold, of precious metals going up, is to just stack what I don't like, because a lot of times I do like it anyway, but there's some stuff like sovereigns. I like sovereigns, don't get me wrong, but they're just boring. I probably had about almost 20 sovereigns that I've gotten rid of this year because they're just all the same pretty much. You have your different monarchs depending on what year, and they often sell for. I've gotten most of them at or below melt. So I wait for the price to go up, and then I trade it for gold that I really want. That's another strategy I'm gonna start implementing. I have tons of frac, and some of the frac I don't want. And I started doing this last year. I basically traded 12 gold coins to GD Saving the Past for one of his Krugerrands. I never got a Krugerrand until last year. So that was my strategy, to try to get a 1 ounce gold coin, because I only had, like one other one. So that's my goal, is to try to get large sized bullion for as cheap as I can. What the hell hit my damn air conditioner? It's very windy here. Your goal is to drink more water. That's good. That's good, Joseph. That's a good goal. I love my Swiss francs with the side lettering. Cool, cool. Yeah, I like the Helvetia. I went to a coin show this year. I got a 10 Swiss franc. I wanted to get it. Beautiful condition, like really nice BU condition. I got. I'm really looking forward to. I'm going to a coin show in about a month from now. The New York International Numismatic, whatever. I've been going every year for the past few years, and I love it. There's some of the same dealers you see, and some of them have some really great deals. Very, I'd say half the coins there are ancients, and I'm not into ancients. It seems like every year there's more. I guess you could say bullion, and I've just been very fortunate enough to get some really great deals at the coin show. Oh man, I gotta plug in my. I forgot to plug in my battery, my phone. So if you guys just give me a minute. It's so hard to do on this tripod. Here we go. Now you got. Oh man, hope this doesn't show my face. Here we go. There we go. Might be a little crooked, but it is what it is. All right, we'll leave it at that. Here we go. All right. My 2026 goal for gold is to not buy any. Just like every year. Hey, I mean that's a goal too. If you want to focus on silver or other PMs, why not, man? More power to you, man. Stack what you like or stack what you don't like, man. Fly lessons. You want to take flying lessons? 2026. He actually spoke to Long Live Coins in the conference call. It was a legendary conversation. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. The problem, gold is really expensive these days. I am buying fractional. That's what I can get for the time being. Hey, that's better than nothing, man. I give you credit because you're ahead of more than 95% of the people in the world. So even if you're buying fractional, even if you're buying a gram or less of gold at a time, that's great. I always say stack what you can when you can, because I always hear people say the price of gold is high, the price of silver is high, but if you are a stacker, right, and you're doing this long term, think about the price of gold or silver 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. The price is going to be cheap compared to what it is then. It's only going to, because of inflation, the price is only going to get more and more expensive to purchase gold and silver and other precious metals. So that's why I say buy what you can when you can. It's only going to get more expensive as time progresses. So, you know, buy what you can. My goal is to be able to play my saxophone again and get more gold. Nice. Nice. Copper, I don't know. I got mixed feelings about copper. I'm in the camp as Mr. West Texas. I don't think people should be buying this. It's not something you should be stacking. If you want to buy it because you like the way it looks, you know, go for it. Um, Basically, it's at what, for a pound? It's $4 a pound copper right now. How much is a pound of gold? How much is a pound of silver? Think about it. 60 times 16. You're talking almost $1,200 right there. So, um, you know, I would not stack this because it's going to take up a tremendous amount of room if you're trying to stack this and you're hoping it's going to go up to $5 a pound in 5 years from now. I don't think it's a very smart place to put your money, but that's just my opinion. You do what you want, man. I'm not telling people not to, but me personally, I would not stack copper. That's just not something I want to do. All right, Broke. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you coming in. Take care. God bless. I think AI will make people jobless. Gold and silver will be the only exit from the situation, I guess. Yeah, I mean, hold on. Let me address that point. I think yes, AI will definitely put people out of work, but we saw this happen here. I don't know if you're in the US, but I mean, globally it happened already in the US. It started in the 90s with automation, robots and computers taking manual labor jobs. Look at the precious metals industry. That's a perfect example. You see a lot of these vintage bars were hand poured, and it's not a bad example because this was not poured, but a lot of the vintage bars used to be poured by hand, and then all of a sudden in the mid 80s you had companies like Engelhard start automating the production of precious metals, and you basically had something like this come where it was exactly 1 troy ounce instead of it being an odd sized weight slightly off of 1 ounce. So you had computers and you had machines basically taking over human jobs. You have, where Silver and Cigars is, you have the Rust Belt. You had a lot of auto manufacturers, you had steel plants. A lot of all these jobs are basically pretty much gone in the US. It's basically either it was outsourced or it was taken over by technology. So you're going to have the same thing happen with AI. AI is obviously going to take over a lot of people's jobs, but will it completely eliminate some of these jobs? No, I don't think it will completely eliminate them. Will it greatly reduce them? Yeah, of course it will. But it is what it is. As we progress, as a society, we want to make things easier. I think Elon Musk was saying, like, in 5 years from now, humans are not going to even be working anymore. I don't know if I don't think it's going to be that. that much of a situation, but who knows what's going to happen? No one really knows what's going to happen, but we'll see. We'll see. It's kind of scary if you think about it. I hope I'm old enough where I could be in the job I'm in till I'm a certain age and then just, get out, retire. So I'm hoping that won't happen in my lifetime where AI is going to take over my job. I hope I'll be in a position where AI cannot replace me. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, AI can never replace a mechanic, house builder, cook. Um, I don't know about that, OC. I mean, if you build a robot, an AI robot, I think they can do a lot of those jobs, but I think that's a little bit far away from, in the next 20 years or so. I think it's going to take a little bit longer, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. What was I gonna say? 1 pound of copper rounds is basically $80, Joseph. Yeah, one if you that's why I'm saying don't don't stack this because you're paying a huge premium. You might be able to get this for $2 for 1 ounce, but the spot price is basically $4 for 16 of these. So you're paying an extremely high premium on this. This probably has the highest premium, one of the highest premiums of any metal you can purchase from an LCS. If you're buying copper, you're paying a huge premium that you're never going to get back in your lifetime. I guarantee you're never going to get your money back on this if you're paying $2 for this copper round. Okay, you try go and sell this at a coin store. They'll give you probably 50 cents for this. Okay, let's say you pay $2 for it. Well, the price, like I said, $4 a pound for copper. You get 16 of those if you go to the scrapyard and you buy copper from them. Hypothetically speaking. So yeah, you're getting ripped off if you buy stuff like that. That stuff is not worth stacking. If you're stacking that, you're paying a huge premium over its spot price. How old am I? I'd rather not say, but I'm somewhere between 30 and 50. Let's just keep it at that. I hope AI can make a mean sandwich. If you build a robot to do my job, the robot would end up hating his job and quitting. You gotta build in subroutines so it doesn't hate doing what it does. You gotta make sure it likes doing what it does. I don't know. No, I'm a little older than that, OC. I'm a little older. I know I might sound a little younger, but yeah, well, somewhere around there. Somewhere around there. I got a little life experience. I got a little mileage on me. So I'm no I'm no spring chicken. Mm. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of scary AI. Also CBDCs. Oh man, I don't even want to think about that. You know, digital money. Look at what's going on now with cryptos. Oh, look at what's going on with crypto. Oh, everyone's buying crypto. It's gonna go to 200,000 a Bitcoin. This blah 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 blah. Now look what's happening. And I see these news articles. Oh, the price of the asset of Bitcoin. I'm like, Bitcoin is not an asset. Bitcoin is a liability because what supports Bitcoin? it's paper, it's thin air. That's all that's supporting Bitcoin. It's digital. It's nothing. Nothing backs Bitcoin. Okay, the U.S. dollar is backed by the U.S. government. Okay, um, precious metals is used to back a lot of different things. What backs Bitcoin? What backs all these cryptocurrencies? It's nothing. It's a pump and dump. Okay, this is my personal opinion. It's not financial advice, but I think I used to have Bitcoin. I used to have crypto, and I know people who have made millions of dollars buying and selling crypto. I wish I would have listened to my friend who's a multimillionaire from crypto. But um, I just see it collapsing. I just see it going down to zero. I know in Asia, especially in China, they're really cracking down now on crypto, and this kind of started a cascade effect of people in Asia, especially China, selling their crypto, and there's nothing to support it. It's just all speculation. I seriously think crypto is gonna it's heading towards zero. That's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. But I don't think crypto is gonna last in the long term. I think crypto is just a fad, honestly. It's just another get rich quick scheme, and I can't see crypto being around in the next 10 to 15 years. That's just my opinion, though. Bitcoin equals emperor's clothing. Thank you, OC. I appreciate that. Staying 47 forever. Crypto is backed by your electric grid and water resources. Yeah, pretty much. Exactly, exactly. Its intrinsic value is zero. There's nothing to support it, you know. I don't invest in things that I can't. Okay, I understand crypto. I studied blockchain technology, okay? I know how crypto works. I understand the basic principles, right? But we still don't know who invented blockchain. We don't the Satoshi Nakamoto, we don't know who it is. A lot of people say it was invented by the government to get people onto a CBDC eventually, convert over to a digital currency. And who it could be, who knows who invented Bitcoin or crypto, who knows the purpose of it. I just think the people that created it wanted to get rich. That's what I think. I don't I don't know. I think that's pretty much why they did it, was to get rich and not pay taxes on it. That's just my theory. People believe it was created by the government to slowly get people onto digital currency, to be able to sur- have a surveillance on them, be able to see what people are buying and selling, and keep a record of that. There's some countries that have that already. In China, they have WeChat. You think WeChat is anonymous? You think the Chinese government can't access people's accounts and see who they're selling, and people are sending money to and from? You know, there's a reason that these governments are encouraging that. They want to have more control. They want to be able to see, who's doing what with their money. So I'm against CBDCs. I've heard about CBDCs already for the last 7 or 8 years because of the field that I'm in banking. So I've known about CBDCs a long time already, and I just don't think it's a good way to go. I understand cash is probably going to eventually become extinct, and eventually there will be only digital. But I think you're going to lose something with that. You're going to lose being anonymous if you switch to CBDCs, and there's no privacy. There's just no privacy. Big Brother is watching. Liz- Lizard people, CIA, Crypto is backed by electric. Oh, yeah, I read that. CIA, lizard people. Does technology have intrinsic value? If so, then crypto might have a value. I mean, depends how you use the technology, right? You could use technology for good or for bad. It depends what the technology is. It depends what the application is. How is technology beneficial to humanity? What benefit does crypto currency have to humanity? I'm on a smartphone right now streaming this, and this would have been impossible to do um, 25 years ago. How does having a smartphone benefit humanity? It provides access to information to be able to stream online, and countless other benefits that are innumerable. But what is the benefit of crypto? What is the benefit of blockchain? Well, not blockchain. What is the benefit of cryptocurrency? What is that benefit to humanity? That's how I look at it. Technology could be good or bad. I think certain technologies could have a lot of intrinsic value. Other technologies, like, you know, Bitcoin doesn't add anything to humanity. You're basically just gambling. To me, it's just a gamble. It's like playing the lottery with Bitcoin, in my opinion. Technology commodity? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Schedule is on time as of now. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, it's scary, man. That's why I try to use cash as much as possible, because I don't, you know, they could track you. They see where you buy stuff. You use your debit card, your credit card. We already have that. It's already exists. They're just trying to go one step further. Um, but it is scary, man. Oh, sorry, Becky. Yeah. All right, Becky. Take care. Yeah, I gotta get to bed soon. I'm not gonna stay up too much longer. Probably another 15 minutes or so. Services technology is not a commodity. I mean, it depends. It might be. Hey, what's going on, Renee? Good to see you. It really depends. You can't generalize about. I mean, you could generalize, but I prefer not to generalize about technology. I mean, it's a very broad question you're asking. So there's no one way to answer that question, in my opinion. It's getting it's getting too it's getting too it's getting too broad for me to be able to answer that specifically, that type of question. But yeah, I personally, this is just my opinion. I don't think a CBDC is a good thing to have, but that's just me. Yeah. Yeah, what's going on, guys? What's going on? What's everyone buying or selling or trading lately? Mm. Yeah, commodity does have an intrinsic value. I would agree with that. Depends what the commodity is. I don't consider Bitcoin a commodity. It depends what you consider a commodity is to begin with, right? How do you define what a commodity is? Is gold and silver a commodity? Absolutely. It's traded around the world. It's recognized around the world as a commodity. Cryptocurrency is not recognized around the world. It's banned in China. It's banned in India. You know, they ban cryptocurrencies. They're trying to create their own CBDCs, or their own cryptos, to replace cash. That's what they're trying to do. A lot of these countries. So is it universally accepted around the world? Bitcoin? No, it's not. And So to your point, I don't consider crypto a commodity because it's not accepted, it's not recognized as such around the world. A lot of countries don't recognize crypto as money. So of course it's not. I don't consider it a commodity if it's not recognized by every country in the world, right? Gold, this is universally recognized as a commodity around the world. Everyone will agree that it's a commodity. Cryptocurrency is not a commodity. It's not globally accepted around the world. You have India and China, which have 3 billion people out of 8 billion people in the world do not recognize it, then I don't consider it a commodity. They don't consider it, you know. I'm sure more than 3 billion people around the world don't consider it a commodity. So I don't consider it. That's your point. You keep your dollars in coin. Exactly. Keep your money. I got my mind on my money and money on my mind. I'm just what I'm saying is, look, there's certain commodities, right? Certain commodities are recognized around the world and others are not. I wouldn't consider crypto a commodity, okay? It's not globally recognized. It might be traded around the world, but to me, it's not recognized by a lot of people. Um, just like the dollar. The dollar, if you look at a dollar bill, right? What does a dollar bill say on it? For for debts public and private, right? So what makes a dollar bill a commodity? What makes it worth what it is, right? People have to agree that it is worth what it says, what's printed on it, right? So your dollars are metals. That's good. That's good. That's this is my money right here too. This is my money too. This is what I consider real money. I don't consider paper real money. This is what I consider real money. This has been around for thousands of years before paper money, before electronic money, right? This is what they used to use 2,000 years ago, right? Then about what 1,000 years ago, they invented paper money in China, right? And then we went from paper money and back into the 1950s. They started having diners club cards, which was the basically an early form of credit cards here. And then you have in the 80s, you have credit cards being prevalent in the U.S. And now, everyone pretty much has a credit card for the most part, credit or debit card. And now you're going away from that. You're basically going from real money to paper money to plastic money to thin air. As you progress, it's you're basically trying to create value for something that's thin air. That's what crypto is. It's thin air. This is real money, okay? Paper money is not that valuable anymore. Plastic money is not it has no value. Your credit card, right? Your credit card has no value, and crypto has no value either. It's thin air. It goes. You see how it gets from as you progress, it becomes less and less valuable over time. The form of what you consider currency, right, or money. This has been around for thousands of years. This will always be money unless we start mining asteroids and we discover a shitload of precious metals and then this becomes worthless. I don't think that's going to happen in our lifetimes, but it could eventually happen. But until that does happen, this is going to be the only form of true money that I trust. I don't trust paper. I don't trust plastic. And I certainly don't trust electronic. Okay. I trust the physical, not the imaginary. What's going on, Sober Stacker? Good to see you. Good to see you. What I thought was community has been more expensive than valuable. What do you mean by that, Stuart? Cutting losses. Oh man, it's getting late. It's like almost 2:30 here. Damn. No, we're pretty much. I don't like talking about crypto. I mean, we're having a relatively I'm just giving my opinion on crypto. It's just my personal opinion. You could disagree with me. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, right? So what I say you don't have to agree with, and what you say to me I don't have to agree with either. So it's a two-way street, right? Non-ships have cost a bunch this year. Non-ships? What do you mean? Stuff that's lost in the mail? Are you off tomorrow? What are your plans for Christmas? I plan on spending Christmas with my family. Um, no, I'm off on if by tomorrow you mean Saturday, yes. I get the Christmas holiday off. I'm off from the 25th until the 1st. So I have a little downtime. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to a coin show next month. Really looking forward to that. Oh, okay. Sorry to hear that. Merry Christmas, everyone. Come hang out with us at Morgan's Silver Treasure. He only sells at cost, a tiny bit above or below. I'm surprised I haven't seen more people. I'm familiar with their bin only. Put in Renee if you can. I'm gonna make you. I don't know why I haven't done this before. I'm gonna make you a moderator, and if you could drop their link in, I'd appreciate it. USPS, man. You know what? I sold almost a full tube of Libertads, and the guy claims it got lost. He showed me pictures of it, and it looks like the package was torn into. I believe him. I don't think he tried to cheat me. So yeah, I had to bite the bullet on that one because USPS only covers up to $100 and the cost of shipping. Even if you get insurance on it, that's all they'll cover. They'll say, "Oh, it's precious metals." That's not part of their items that's covered under their insurance. So guys, if you get insurance with USPS, you have to realize that if you ship precious metals, they do not cover that. That they will not cover that. They'll tell you this, oh, you got to read the fine print. This is something that's not part of our insurance. You could ship a gold coin out, anything you have it insured by USPS, guys, you are not covered. You're paying for nothing. Okay, you're paying for nothing. You got to go with a company, I think maybe DHL. Don't quote me on it. Maybe I want to say UPS might cover it, maybe FedEx. You really have to look and see what's covered by their insurance because there's a lot of exceptions. And with USPS, precious metals are not covered. So, you got to realize that. Yeah, what I usually do, I don't know if I should tell you, but it's just what I usually do if I send stuff for grading to NGC. I basically I ship it overnight because I don't get insurance. I don't think it's going to really cover if it gets lost. I'm not sure if they cover precious metals. They might, but it depends who I ship it with, either if it's with FedEx or UPS. I don't use USPS. No way, no way, no how. Um, so I send it overnight because it gets there, the next day. I check the tracking, they get it, I'm good to go. So I've been pretty lucky in that regard. If you're willing to pay up for that. But if depending on who it is, if it's FedEx or if it's UPS, if you have a lot of money, you're shipping in precious metals, and they cover, precious metals as part of their insurance, go for it. Spend the extra 50 or $100. It's worth it. I've definitely done that when it comes to selling and buying watches. I've I've paid for insurance to have it shipped to me, because you're talking about watches that are thousands of dollars, and if it gets lost in the mail, I'm shit out of luck. So obviously I pay up. It really depends on how much you're sending. But even if it's overnight, I get that insurance depending on the value. Several weeks ago, Morgan sold me 8 1/4 ounce silver rounds for $80 when silver was at 50 an ounce. Nice, nice. Thanks for sharing it, brother. I have to check it out. Morgan Silver Treasure. I just subscribed. I heard of them, but I haven't. Now I know. Now I know. If you don't know, now you know. Well, that's what I'm saying, Stuart. USPS doesn't cover precious metals. That's why insurance doesn't matter. You really have to look, if you're buying or selling something that's very valuable, go into FedEx and go into UPS and just ask them. They'll look it up in they'll look it up for you. Ask them if precious metals are covered or coins are covered. That's all you got to do, or look on their website. And I think it is. I think it is covered with FedEx. I think it is. USPS won't make people ship things. I don't know. USPS is a whole other beast, man. I try not to use them, but for stuff like everyday stuff, like not that valuable, yeah, I use them, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up here. I appreciate everyone stopping by tonight. I just want to thank everybody, and OC, please don't forget to shoot me an email. Um, I will try to reply tonight before I go to bed, and we'll take it from there, brother. You received a Christmas card in the mail, opened. Yeah, it's terrible. I'm sure we've all gotten packages or cards or mail that have been opened before. Unfortunately, people think there's a check in there or money or who knows what, and it's unfortunate. I've had stuff stolen from me too. I don't have Amazon. I used to have Amazon, and it was around this holiday season, and I ordered a router, and it was only $30, and someone stole it. It was delivered. It was marked as delivered on the tracking. I literally went downstairs less than an hour after it was delivered to pick it up. Came on a Saturday, and it was gone. Someone swiped it. And you know what? I just went to Amazon. I'm like, I never got this. Luckily, they sent me out another one, and it was only $30. But there's times where I've sent, like I said, Libertads, almost a whole tube of Libertads I sold to someone, and I was shit out of luck, hundreds of dollars. So, you know, it is what it is. It happens. Unfortunately, it happens. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. I was able to blow off some steam. I feel really good. I love chatting with people in this community. This community is the best. If you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, and as I always say, stack that gold. Have a good night, everybody. Take care. If we could end the stream here, that would be enough.